we found out that in one company, most of the officials appear on both sides. And on one company, the director, a specific director of Mangoba, in his company is a director, but we found in the other one to be an official. It sounds to be a collusion.
Yeah.
As supply chain is saying, if there is collusion, we need to disqualify. However, because we were not all of us expert in terms of defining collusion and explaining what collusion means, we took a decision as the BAC, as the committee,
Bid adjudication
committee, to say, let's seek an independent legal opinion. I was the first black CFO of Steve Tshwete.
Yeah.
And in my tenure, I maintained what Steve Tshwete was. 30th of August. But on the 1st of September, the man was on site. 10 o'clock at night, that's when the decision was taken that they appoint him as the accounting officer.
30th of August.
Yes.
And then on the...
And on the 1st of September, he was already there. And he was working somewhere else. His resignation was on the 5th of September, but he was already the MM.
Are you not scared?
I used to tell people, you're not the first person to ask me. I used to tell people to say, one day I'm going to die. And if it's my profession, I never expected to be killed for something that is not mine.
Yeah, we are focusing on Steve Tshwete Local Municipality in Mpumalanga Province, in Middelburg. This is a municipality that used to be a model for the ANC. Clean governance, it was able to deliver services. Everything was almost perfect about it for a long time. It was a reference point of good governance in Mpumalanga Province. It used to be led entirely by the ANC up until the last municipal elections, where the ANC for the first time got 50%, under 50% of the votes. They got 36%. It's a hung municipality at the moment. But lately there have been allegations of corruption, more particularly directed at the municipal manager, Mr. Mandla Mngoni. Just before we begin our discussion about this municipality, let me put it on record that we, as the People's Eye, have written many times to the municipal manager and even lately to the mayor, asking answers to the questions we're going to be talking about in this interview, and we never got any response. We even invited them to come and talk to us, but they have refused. So my guest today is the former Chief Finance Officer at the municipality, Mr. David Mogofe. Welcome to the
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, just feel free and relax. And we're expecting you to unpack these matters that have arisen out of the municipality. Nationally, as you know, municipalities are sort of not performing according to expectations. I remember just recently the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance was in the Free State, where a lot of rot and corruption was exposed. Well, it's basically the same issue in the whole country. Yeah, here in Steve Tshwete, there have been an issue of collusion regarding an electrification, rather the appointment of an electricity provider. An issue of collusion, which I believe got you into trouble. That's why we are no longer there. Or it could be other issues, many other issues. But I would like us to talk about that issue. I know there's a company that was appointed on the panel of service providers to provide electrification services. What I've discovered independently about the company is that the director is a friend of the municipal manager, and the municipal manager, up until recently, has been staying in the house of this service provider in Middelburg. Or he has since left after we got hold of the information. I just thought I should mention that in passing, but you need to talk to us about this particular tender. What happened? Let's start from the beginning. An advert goes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, let me acknowledge this opportunity. Yes, I was the former CFO of Steve Tshwete since 2020. And maybe I'll have to address to say, as Steve Tshwete was known to be a well-performing in my tenure, we were able to get unqualified in my first year of being there and sustain 2 financial years of clean audit up until I left. Then the municipality went into a qualified. But coming to the issue that you are raising, indeed in terms of the supply chain process, advert for a panel was advertised and multiple service providers were evaluated in terms of the process, and the report from evaluation committee came to bid adjudication committee. I'll have to explain that I was the chairperson of the bid adjudication committee as the CFO appointed to chair that particular panel.
Okay.
And in that particular panel, we received the evaluation report, which was presented by the appointed chairperson of evaluation committee. However, looking at the issues of functionality in terms of point scoring, we identified some anomalies to say there are some points that are tallying onto service providers.
Okay.
And
in simple terms, there were similarities in the documents.
Basically, we started in terms of the evaluation criteria. They will give you a point when they look at the experience, the officials that are there, the equipment, machinery that we have, depending on the nature of the terms of reference of the tender.
Okay.
But we identified to say on this particular aspect, we picked up that the point numbers are giving same numbers
on these 2 companies
in terms of the scoring.
Yeah.
So we started to check as to whether these 2 companies, do they have any relationship? In terms of the supply chain processes, we need to check the MBD 9, which is a document that whereby if 2 companies bid and they've got relationship, they need to disclose in that particular documentation.
Okay.
So that we'll be able to understand that what they are disclosing is it has got relation in terms of how they were scoring the points. But when we go to that, we couldn't find the declaration.
Okay. Before you carry on, how many companies were evaluated?
I cannot remember the numbers, but I think out of the ones that went through for further evaluation to be recommended for appointment, I think there were 6. If I'm not mistaken.
Approximately, okay.
Yeah, I think there were 6.
Okay.
And of the 6, we identified only the 2.
Okay.
Which have got that similarities in terms of the point scoring.
Okay. Those 2 companies in question, Mangoba Trading Enterprise and Maivute.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And when we now have to go deeper into the documentation, we identified some similarities in terms of type of equipment. When we go to officials that are going to execute the work, because they are scoring a point in terms of the experience and qualification of those people that are in there.
Yeah.
We found out that in one company, most of the officials appear on both sides. And on one company, the director, a specific director of Mangoba, in his company is a director, but we found in the other one to be an official.
Okay.
So we started having an argument as members of the BAC to say, what do you call this? Because there is no declaration, but there is cross-cutting of people, there is cross-cutting of type of equipment to be used. If these people are appointed, both of them, and you give them work at the same time, will they be able to deliver on a basis that they are going to use same personnel, same equipment? So we started arguing amongst ourselves to say, it sounds to be a collusion.
Yeah.
As supply chain is saying, if there is collusion, we need to disqualify. However, because we were not all of us expert in terms of defining collusion and explaining what collusion means, we took a decision as the BAC, as the committee,
with adjudication
committee, to say, let's seek an independent legal opinion about this matter, so that when we reconvene, we'll look at that particular legal aspect and conclude and recommend to the accounting officer. As we receive the first legal opinion, I myself as the chair, I received the legal opinion so that I can request administration to call for a meeting to go and discuss that the outcome is there. But upon that space, it happened to say there was another letter written to the attorneys to look at their opinion, and the second opinion came. But then when we reconvene, only the second opinion came into our committee, and we started arguing to say, but we had one that was recommending a total re-advert. But what informs the second one that says it will be the prerogative of the accounting office? Then we identified that there was a letter written in between. So as the committee now, we had to sit and say, as the first legal opinion was not legitimately being the one that is requested to be used, we'll still continue with this one. However, what we have identified as a collusion, we need to put it in our recommendation so that we notify the accounting officer. Even if he's going to play his prerogative in line with the second opinion, it will be up to the accounting officer.
But for the first legal opinion, obviously, you as a committee, you recommended to the municipal manager to look for it. It was not you. You don't have the powers to go to hire the attorney and ask for the opinion. You referred it to the municipal manager to do it.
No, we do have panel of legal people.
Or
but in terms of, they are external. They are already appointed on the panel. We made a recommendation to say we need to get a legal opinion. The accounting officer just write that request. And then we'll sign off that request so that we can give them instruction to deliver the legal opinion. But because the legal opinion is for the committee, it's not for the accounting office.
So it has to come to the committee.
It has to come to the committee because we are the ones that needs to recommend the final recommendation.
I see. Because I wanted to find out how did you get hold of the first legal opinion, because it could have been delivered to the municipal manager, but you have explained that.
Because the moment it can be delivered there, while we did not give the accounting officer that recommendation of the entire process, it will be that his independent in terms of looking at the process will be compromised. So the legal opinion, we request to say instruction as the committee will provide the information to the person who's doing the legal opinion. And after that, we can now recommend on a basis of that. And we can even now present to the accounting officer the legal opinion to say, this is what also guided us when we found that this is the anomalies that we never expected it to be. Yes.
So you get the first legal opinion. What did it say? And then he writes a letter to the attorneys. And then you get a second legal opinion.
Yes, surprisingly is that the same advocate or the same attorneys were used, but they came with different opinions. Same person coming with a different opinion on it, the very same opinion that he has, And now we started asking ourselves, because we received it, we have read it before the meeting. Now comes the other one. They formalized the second one, and we wanted to know which one is which.
Exactly.
Then it sounded to be the one that we received is not the one that they wanted, because there was a letter in between. That now the letter was saying, if I recall, the letter was saying the recommendation that is in the opinion will make the process to delay because there is grant funding that needs to be spent.
Okay.
So, in essence, now, when it goes back to the attorneys, then the attorneys now change their independent opinion.
Okay.
Because there is now the basis of the new letter.
What was their opinion in the first letter?
The opinion in the first was recommending to the accounting officer to go on a re-advert.
On a re-advert, just
Yes.
because of this collusion.
Because of what we have identified as the collusion. And in the legal opinion, he also looked at what we have identified. He agreed with us to say, no. The simpler way is for a re-advert.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But then the second one now came and say is in the prerogative of the accounting officer. That is why as the committee now, we had to say, whatever that we recommend, we need to show it in our recommendation and add the last bullet of, based on the legal opinion that came to us, this is what it says. So that we give the accounting officer his own space. Yes, that's how it happened.
So then basically he took a decision defying a recommendation of the bid adjudication committee eventually.
Eventually, he only applied the legal opinion, did not consider what we're saying is a collusion. Because when you look at the process, in the write-up, when we write the report, the chairperson of the bid adjudication committee signed before the recommendation. Below that, there will be the list of those that we are saying they are duly to be appointed because they've passed the test. But with this instant, he signed that and brought another one, which now included the two. So if you can look at the document, it has got those. But when you look at the entire processes of the municipality, we only have one document that come from the bid adjudication committee, which will have the two signatures. But in here, we have got three. Because he signed there and written at the bottom to say, see the attached list of the appointed service providers. And now it added the two. So the question we were asking ourselves as the committee was to say, so there's the other one which says, see where is the evaluation on and the adjudication report? That is where the issues came.
Yeah, that becomes a problem. But now his reasons for seeking the second opinion, do they make sense?
Basically, the reason for seeking second opinion was to say your first opinion is not what I want. Because the other one, we also question the integrity and the conduct of the very same advocate, because he's one. To say, if I give you an opinion independently, can somebody come and give me another information, then I change my opinion? Or legally, to my understanding, is that if I've been given that to make my opinion, should something comes, I will say, give it to the next person so that he can go and analyze and see whether what I've raised as my opinion vis-a-vis that, then you'll be able to conclude on two different opinions from two different independent people. But with this one, same attorneys, same advocate, but different opinion. That's why we had to say, this is the opinion that is in there. But both of them, we did see them. That's why it was bringing a confusion.
So in the end, according to the municipal manager's wish, then both Mangoba Trading Enterprise and Maivute found themselves appointed to the panel of electric contractors.
Yes, that's what we received as the final.
for the year 2023, 2024, 2024 to 2025, and 2025 to 2026. That is 3 years.
Yes.
So this appointment, I'm not sure in financial terms, a company that is appointed to the panel,
Yeah.
approximately in financial terms, the job that the company will be given, how much is it?
It will depend. It depends on institution. With Steve Tshwete, how we deal with it. We will appoint you on a panel. When we have specific project, we'll do what we call allocation.
Yes.
We'll allocate the work for a certain amount,
Okay.
depending on the bill of quantity of what we want.
Yeah.
If we are saying you are going to refurbish a substation,
Yes.
we'll pick all the identified item within your own bill, and it will give us the quantum amount of how much we need to allocate. Then we'll issue an allocation letter, which the accounting officer will sign. It will come from the end user to accounting officer, and then that becomes an official appointment for that specific work.
Okay.
Not for the entire of whatever, but only for that specific.
Oh, so it means if a company is appointed, then it has already costed the job that it might be given in future.
Yes, what we do is we appoint them on a rate.
Oh, I
Meaning
see.
we are using the unit rate
Yeah.
to appoint them, but the total amount is just for evaluation purposes. To say, when we're saying 100 units times 5 rand, it will give us the quantum amount. And after adding, they will have totals.
Okay.
We'll use the totals when we do our formula calculation for screening and say who comes, who goes out, and whatever.
Okay.
So that we can give points to say number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Okay.
But after that, then the process of allocation comes.
Okay. But give me an idea. If Mangoba Trading is already on the panel and Maivute, they are on the panel, after the 3 years, how much are they likely to make? Well, as you said, it depends on the job that they are allocated, because they are appointed as and when there's a need.
Yes.
But each job, give us an idea how much in electrification, how much a company could charge.
If I recall on in that particular year, the INEP grant was around 18 million, and I'm quite aware that after this appointment, an allocation was made, I think, of 16 or the entire 18 to Maivute.
Oh, okay. So that is 18 million that is there for energy.
For energy, INEP grant.
Yeah.
Over that particular financial year.
One financial year.
Yes.
Oh,
and it was allocated to Maivute somewhere in October 2020.
Almost the total of it.
Yeah, almost. If it was not 90% of it. But I still recall that it was allocated to him.
Oh, okay. Because I'm asking that so that I do understand what is at stake here. Why would people bring 2 companies while one owner brings 2 companies that he owns or he is a director of to bid for one thing? It's basically to collect. To be at advantage of having a share in the 18 million pie.
Now,
a bigger share.
Somehow, it's not. Remember, it's not only the INEP grant. We also make allocation for
from the budget of the
municipality.
Okay.
That one was a grant, but we do have other maintenance and all those, which will also use them as the panel of electricity.
Oh, okay.
So it will vary. That's why we make them a panel. To say if you have been allocated, you are busy on this one, somebody can go and do work on that other one. So that service delivery can run.
So how much is that budget that the municipality allocates per financially on average?
It will differ because electricity is the biggest component.
It's the biggest.
Yeah, because mostly the dependency of all other services are within electricity. Even our credit control and debt collection, we run through electrification. That's why we make sure that electricity interruption is at the minimal. That's why we have to allocate more so that for any event that is there, the restoration should not take long.
Yeah, give me figures, man. I know it could be electricity, it's water, maybe the second one, biggest allocation.
Because I recall it's 2023.
Yeah.
We'll have capital budget and operational
budget. Yeah.
So the ones that I was referring to of 18 million was basically capital grant specific for electricity. You can't use it for anything.
But it's from national.
Yeah, that is from national.
Yeah.
Yes. As I was alluding to the letter, the letter was also referring to the very same grant.
Okay.
Which they were saying there is grant that needs to be spent. So our discussion when we were in the committee was to say, should it not be the grant? What could have been? Will they ever been with the first opinion or not?
Yeah.
But nobody can answer because we're just asking ourselves amongst us as the committee.
And coming to that, maybe his reasoning that this grant needs to be spent immediately was the process of appointing the companies towards the end of a financial year where the money had to be spent, or it was not?
No, it was at the beginning. Remember, we submitted the report somewhere in July.
Yeah.
And the final letter was on the 8th of August. Our financial year started on the 1st of July.
So what was the rush?
Still in the first month of the financial year.
Oh, so what could have been the rush? Or is it, does national government say you have to spend this money by this time?
By the 30th of June.
Towards the end of the financial year?
At the end of the financial year, we must be sure that it has been spent. Okay. And 18 million was too little for that particular.
So that reasoning was basically nonsensical.
To me, it was not even necessary. If you were deciding to say you disqualified them, you were still having others that are appointed, then you could have still run the process.
Yes.
And if you were deciding to say you now go on a re-advert, the policy is clear. To say if it was supposed to be advertised for 30 days, the accounting officer have got the prerogative to shorten the appointment dates, appointment time, maybe to 14 days on a basis of that diligence so that the process can be concluded quick. Yeah. To me, there was nothing that says there is a rush because in any way, we were still having 10 months to go.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the difficulty was that should they be disqualified, it means they are not on the panel for the next coming 36 months. That was the rationale.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. But I mentioned a few other things about the municipal manager's relationship with the director of one of these companies. Were you aware of as the bid adjudication committee about this relationship?
No, we were not aware. We just read them on the news that is related. But for me, I was not aware. The thing is, I don't know the accounting officer. I don't have history of him. He came in 2022, September.
Yeah.
Yes, and that thing happened 2023, somewhere May, June process. I did not know their relationship and whatever. That's why that one I cannot conclude as to whether they are friends, they might be from same area or whatever, but in terms of friendship, I'm not privy to that one.
Okay. But did he ever come back to you as a committee and say, look, this is my decision that I'm taking now?
I was called with the chairperson of bid evaluation. I was requested to change that, and I categorically refused because I said it's not my decision. It's the decision of the committee.
Of the whole committee.
Remember, the committee first took a decision of legal opinion. We take minutes and we confirm that this is our minutes of what we have said. Now, when we sit for the second time to go through the legal opinion, there will be also minutes that must come back to the committee to confirm what they've said. So I couldn't be, as an individual, change I just become the signatory of that for authenticity purposes, that this report, I'm aware of the discussion because I'm chairing it, and we have confirmed the minutes because we also attach the minutes to the report.
Yeah.
To say this is the report, these are the minutes, this is the people who were sitting in the committee that took that particular decision. I can't change it.
Yeah.
Thereafter, that's when the final letter came.
Okay.
And it surprisingly, it came straight to me. Because it doesn't come to me, it goes to the secretariat, the administration, where they administer all this. But that one came straight to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Eh? Okay. And if things went according to your recommendations as the bid adjudication committee, what was supposed to happen to these companies, Mangoba and Maivote, after you discovered that they colluded? What was supposed to happen? They were supposed to be left alone out of the process, or they were supposed to be disqualified, there to be some punitive action along the way?
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's a criminal offense or what.
Basically, in terms of this SCM process, if it's a collusion, we disqualify.
Or disqualify.
That is why we were arguing as to whether is it a collusion, because we never have such kind of situation before.
Yeah.
So that's why we wanted to seek a legal opinion, so that tomorrow they mustn't take the municipality to court and say, this committee have taken this particular decision.
Oh, yeah.
That was the basis of why we seek an independent opinion.
Okay.
And should it be that opinion of the first, we are going to say, in the opinion of the first, in my own view, in the opinion of the first, which was saying go on a re-advert, we were going to disagree with the going on a re-advert. We were going to say it means you are agreeing with us that there is collusion, therefore we disqualify. The ones that are qualifying, they go through.
Okay.
So that we become fair and transparent to the ones that are not involved into the discussion.
Yeah.
Then we'll be having the grounds to say, even if one says that is taking the municipality to court, I will be able to explain and say, these 5, they don't have issues. But these 2, why must I advertise? I re-advertise because of these 2.
Okay.
It means the opinion says what we have picked, because that's what we wanted to check. What we have picked, does it conform to be a collusion?
Yes.
That's why in our recommendation we said, as a committee, we still feel these 2 are deemed to be colluding.
Exactly.
Yes, it's written as such.
So now a disqualification, what does it mean? It means then
you are not part of the panel.
You are not part of the panel.
Yeah,
but then
for the next 36 months.
Yeah, but should the process reopen, then Mangoba Trading could come back again and bid.
Yeah, should they advertise for another panel? They're still allowed to. But on that specific one, they might not be.
Okay.
Yeah. But if we do another advert, they still need to, there is market, they are competing.
Yeah, exactly. So after this whole argument with the municipal manager, what happened to your professional relationship? Was it affected?
I would say it was affected because before end of that particular month, we were in a council meeting where he came with a black plastic, in a council meeting. Towards the end of the council meeting, then the speaker said there is a report that comes from the municipal manager, which are confidential. He wants to have an in-committee council meeting.
Okay.
And all other officials, including myself, must recuse the meeting.
Okay.
While I was outside the meeting, other councillors now started saying, no, you can't put CF on a precautionary suspension on the report that he doesn't even know. That's when we heard that I'm now on that report that he's having, because that was his report. Then council took a decision to say I must be on a precautionary suspension. but the report are not related to this. There are other things that he came into the space.
Okay.
And are things that is alleging to say they were wrongly done. Which one is the substation? The other one is an NEF funding. The third one is the payment of security company.
Oh, okay.
Which in all of the three,
yeah,
I was singled to be on a precautionary suspension. And what surprised me is that I was not the accounting officer before him.
Okay.
There was accounting officers before him,
yeah,
who are doing authorization and appointing and doing, but they were not featuring in all those reports.
Oh, I see.
So that is where I started finding out that there is a personal vendetta on a basis that there are certain things that we are not agreeing on.
Yeah.
So then he had to go and cook that particular report, because even after the council, they now started saying they are going to do a forensic investigation.
Okay.
Whereas he presented the report, and that report was not given to anyone. But report will leak.
Yeah.
We had the report.
Yeah.
After the outcome of the forensic, the write-up of the report and what is in the forensic of his is the same thing.
It's the same thing?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
It's just now this one added names of people, but in the conclusion, I was still the one to be on a precautionary suspension. It doesn't bring anyone. Those who took decisions, authorization and whatever, but it's only to say the chief financial officer must be put on a precautionary suspension, which I question to say, am I the one running the institution alone? Even the end users, this issue of security, it was during the strike.
Yeah.
There was an acting municipal manager after Kenisa left.
So whatever he was charging you with, say the payment to the security companies, obviously the payment, if every payment has to be approved by a municipal manager at that particular time.
Yes.
So if there's any charge, then
the accounting officer must be first.
Yes.
Then I will follow in terms of whatever that they will say, what will have been.
Yeah.
But in this one, I'm alone.
Yeah, it's quite funny.
Because that's where, and the funny part of it is that on this one of security, the very same accounting of the one who was acting is her competency. Security cluster falls within.
Or in the directorate.
The directorate. They have done the appointment and everything. People have worked. It was just a question of a payment, which led to say there is no way as a CFO you cannot pay, because if there is anomalies, we have to go and check what transpired. But in the entire process, in his forensic report, it's only me who has been charged on the very same. But I'm asking myself as to whether I just went into the bank of the municipality and paid that service provider. I can tell you even now I'm still going to court because he want to attach my pension to pay for that security issue.
But obviously, just for the benefit of us who do not understand much about your role, when you make a payment, you have now to go to the account of the municipality and pay for a service or goods that have been procured. Surely somebody gives you a final recommendation that pay.
Yeah, the process of Steve Tshwete is this one. That's how I used to say municipalities differs. In my entire 30 years experience in local government, I've worked on various municipalities.
Okay.
They've got different processes.
Yes.
With Steve Tshwete process, even the delegation of powers in terms of paying or authorizing a payment, no one is allowed to authorize an invoice which is above 200,000.
Yes.
Whether you are the CFO or you are executive director, it's only the accounting officer.
Okay.
So, all those payments that they are related there, they are above 200,000.
It's millions.
Yes. Which I'm saying, for a mere fact that they follow that particular procedure and everything,
Yeah.
the end user department will make a request.
Yeah.
The executive director of that will make a recommendation to the accounting office.
Okay.
And the accounting officer sign it off. It comes to finance.
Or then when it comes to you, already the municipal manager.
Yeah, whether I'm there or not,
Yeah.
the expenditure manager will process it until the last. Because already it has got authority.
Okay.
Then there is no need for me to be part of.
Oh,
when they get into the financial system and the bank, they can clear it because it has followed all the process.
Oh, I get you.
I just become an alternative to become a second or a third approver, because on the bank there is first who approves, then the second.
Oh.
When the first is not there, they use me, the CFO, as an alternative.
Okay.
Then I will be able to assist in those transactions and clear them only on the bank. But on the capturing on the financial system and all those, I'm not party to.
Okay, this no, I'm clarified. I get the clarity. So you get put on precautionary suspension, then he commissions an forensic audit report.
Yeah.
That is the Mgiba Consulting.
No, Mgiba is part of.
Or it's part of.
Because on the previous precautionary hours, it was also part. As I'm saying, all the three, they included me.
Oh, okay.
All the three items, they included me.
Okay.
So I was there on the precautionary. Most unfortunately, I got an offer, then I tendered my resignation, I left.
Oh, you left.
Which council have accepted my resignation, and I left.
Okay, I see. Let's go to the issue of the substation.
Yes.
We were there when the whole supply chain process started.
I was there, but I was not part of the supply chain process. I think it happened before, because I joined the municipality in 15th July 2019. And that panel which was dealing with the substation, I think was already in existence, because their 3 years lapsed on the 2023. That is why there was this new one. I was not part of the entire panel initially. But when the allocation for appointment, I was already there, because it was allocated in 2020.
Yeah. Because we need to speak about it. There's a controversy around that substation. Everything was done. It was built. How much was spent?
179 million.
179 million.
Yes.
But now it is there, not benefiting the community. The municipal manager has investigated. He came, he found the substation is there, and started the process of investigating how it came about that the substation had to be constructed.
No, I cannot say he found the substation there. He found the construction moving.
The construction moving.
Yes,
okay.
because
yes.
Of almost 60-something million of the payments of that is the one who approved them. Yes, I can't. Where I missed the point is to say, after you have made approvals of payments, then you investigate. But in the investigation, you are nowhere to be found. And you're saying that this substation have spent 179 million. How much of the 179 is part of you? So that we start questioning the rationale behind the investigation.
Yeah.
But it is one thing that on his arrival he asked about the substation. I recall we were driving from Durban to Kinshasa Airport.
Okay.
He asked me about the substation to say how did it came. And I explained it came because Golfsag substation banned. And when we go to the master plan and the vision strategy, it was already envisaged that by 2025, there is a need for another substation to be built to make sure that it augment GolfSec. So, but because GolfSec has banned in that 2020, when we take the matter to council, we wanted additional funding. And council, I remember in the mayoral, the late executive mayor, Councillor Tolo, said, if you still want additional money for the GolfSec, and you are saying you're also planning to say in 2025 there must be a new substation, why are we not implementing such? Because if we are talking benefit of Mhluzi people, we need to move up with the speed and get that particular substation. That is when we started saying, how are we going to fund this substation? As the CFO, I had to come into the space and advise the accounting officer to say, we need to go out on the market and say, this is what we want to do. We need to get a loan to finance this transaction because there is no money to can deal with such a massive substation. And indeed, but before we do that, we went and say, before we go out of the market, let's also test our credibility, our credit worthiness as Steve Tshwete. We went out on tender for the credit rating, which indeed we did. We were granted B plus by Moody's. And then we now said,
what is B plus?
It's the rating in terms of your...
But what does it mean?
It means your risk is tolerable for you to get a loan from whoever. Because they are also using data. They will come and analyze your financials, your audit outcomes, your infrastructure maintenance and all that. Those factors in there, then they will give you the status. And in the Mpumalanga, I think we were the first to, as a local municipality, even in the country, it's only the metros that deals with the credit rating, because our intention was that we want to go on a bond market to raise a bond so that we can clear the backlog of this other infrastructure that is there, which are those steps that we are following. However, we decided no, because the bond process have also issues that might delay the entire process. Let's test the market. We went on tender for a loan of 640 million, specifically for 3 projects. One was the substation. 2 was for the purification plant to do what we call reverse osmosis. Because the people of Mhluzi were not drinking the water, saying it looks, the color, it doesn't look fine. Then we had to seek a research in terms of what can be done. Then the research came and said you can do what you call a reverse osmosis. And the third one was the replacement of the asbestos pipes. That is the 3 projects that were there. And that's what I also explained to say that's how also the 640 million came into the space.
Get it.
It's not to say we just wake up today and say, no, let's do substation. No, there was a process and a lengthy process.
And obviously a research was done on, or rather that master plan was drafted, and it identified that you needed a new substation.
And that master plan, he was part of that master, that vision, 2030 vision, whatever, 2030 strategy. Because it happened in 2016. For us, when we came, it was already there. It's just a matter of implementation. To say it might have identified 2025, but it doesn't say you can't implement it now. If there are challenges and that thing has already been spotted, we now go on a reprioritization and say, let this one comes first.
And so now he appointed a forensic company because he thought something was wrong, in particular about the payments, as you say. And from what I've seen is that when he was there as municipal manager, 66.4 million was paid towards the service provider was appointed for the construction of the substation.
Yeah, I think I also I've read something, though I don't have the entire report.
Yeah.
But there is where I've read that the company is recommending that from the 179 there is 20 million extra.
Yeah.
And when I ask questions, is to say that 20 million extra, when did it happen? Because it needs to be reflected in there.
Yeah.
And when I look at how the structure of how they came into the 20 million, they just took all the payments and say the first allocation was 158 million, then 179 less 158, and they say 20 is extra. But it is incorrect. Because when you are on a 3-year contract term, you have got escalation.
Yeah.
There is price escalation.
Yes.
On any anniversary, we do increase your rates through inflation.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, if I give you 20 million today,
Yeah.
and in your anniversary you did not finish the 20 million, the prices are changing because it's part of the SLA.
Yes.
So in that write-up, I did not see that consideration to say what happened to the escalation. Because if you take an inflation rate of 5% of 158 million, you might range around 16, 15 million.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's my analysis, though I don't have the full report.
Yes.
And I'm saying they should have looked at all those aspects and say, no, this is made by the extra, because this process from 2020 until 2023, we are talking full 3 years. There was anniversaries in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So one needed to go deeper into that. But because there are mere engineers, which I don't know why the engineers didn't consider that, I doubt their credibility.
Yeah.
Or maybe because I will say they were informed to say, no, just deal with this one and this one and that one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had to leave, and you have worked as a CFO, or rather in this supply chain management and finance in municipalities for a long time, 30 years, you said.
Yeah, I started working in municipalities in 2000.
In 2000, yeah. That is a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Just explain to us, because every now and then we hear a CFO has been assassinated because was failing to authorize this and that payment or whatsoever. You being a head of supply chain, you just giving us this. We are not actually, supply chain falls under you as a CFO. So every process that is there, we are part of it.
We are the custodian as finance. The CFO is the custodian.
Yeah. Sometimes, as in this particular case, you find supply chain officials are forced to appoint a particular company, even though that particular company does not qualify. Even though in the case that you explained to us, there's collusion that you identify and so on. But there's somebody up there forcing you to do these kinds of things. Because corruption begins and in the supply chain process. That's where it begins. If there's corruption that is done about a particular project, it's because of supply chain officials. They are the ones doing the whole process. I mean, from writing down specifications, advertising, adjudicating, evaluating. I mean, what I'm saying is, if there's corruption, the fingers point at supply chain management. So, as you guys who are working there, we are under so much pressure, because if the leadership is corrupt, obviously they will say to you, give wrong instructions to you and say, this is what we want. This is the outcome that we want. How is that environment?
Yeah, one might take it as supply chain management or officials, but it's not the correct perspective. Because we have got supply chain officials who will look at compliance, make sure that necessary documentation are attached.
Yes.
But you have got another component of committees.
Okay.
The committees are not comprised of supply chain. They are comprised of various people that the accounting officer appoint.
Okay.
Yeah. Within there, you will appoint maybe 5 of them to be on the specification. You will take from various departments based on their expertise.
Okay.
So that when they analyze the terms of reference, if it's coming from roads, somebody within having that expertise will be able to guide the committee in terms of and also when it gets to, because that is the supply chain process, when it gets to evaluation, also the accounting officer will appoint multiple skill within the municipality to sit in that committee.
Okay.
And also when it gets to adjudication, you will do such.
Okay.
Because the procedure in terms of how National Treasury is given is to say, it recommends to say in the adjudication, let the senior management be the one that adjudicating.
Okay.
And preferably, the CFO should be the chairperson.
Okay.
Yeah, it's preferably the CFO to be the chairperson or any delegation that the accounting officer can make.
Okay.
Because those committees are the committees that are advising the accounting officer in terms of whether the process has been followed to the letter.
Okay.
The only challenge will be within amongst us, people might have discussed certain things out there. They will come up with issues and try to manipulate or influence. And if it fails, then somebody will have to be pointed to say, so and so who said 1, 2, 3. That's why our life are always on threatening to say, yeah, you rejected my tender and all those. Those are some of the things that we face. But we'll be reading legislation and say, this is what the legislation is saying. And we cannot agree with you when you're saying this, because that is our duty. But depending on where it comes from, then it will have to go with somebody. And others, it's when you get payments, as the CFO, you don't have cash, and they want the money quick, you don't have, they think you don't want to pay them, then you become a threat to them and they start threatening to say, you don't want to pay me, it's now 3 weeks or whatever. So you're always getting calls or SMSs and saying, yeah, why are you not paying us? Why are you paying so and so? Those are the...
Yeah, because there's that issue.
Yes, those are the day-to-day things. Because when they process it, and if it's 500 rand, but when you want 200 million, I don't have 200 million. But this 500 rand, I can pay it. Why not? So that is why one might think, no, this is your group, these are your people, because they will be now bringing certain things that are not within the competence of a professional official in that space.
Yeah, because the National Treasury has set a standard of how the payment have to be done within 30 days after the job has been delivered. How difficult is that? Because we still hear service providers saying, hey, man, it's been 6 months, it's been 2 years, I'm not being paid.
The difficulty is, as a municipality, we are not like provincial and national. Okay. In the provincial and national, their money is coming from the fiscals.
Yes.
If they gave them 5 billion, it's 5 billion, they are guaranteed it will come.
Yeah.
So the 30-day turnaround time is doable, but they are also still failing while they know the money is guaranteed. But the challenge with municipalities is that you put a budget projection, you must go and collect from the community and pay the service provider. If you are failing to collect, you will fail to pay them because there is nothing in the coffers. So the days are not stopping, they are moving. If you don't collect, 30 days lapse. That is the challenge. That's where the difference comes.
Is it?
So it says, but if we are all in the same government and they say, municipalities, you are allocated 10 million, then we'll follow it to the latter. Because I know this 10 million is coming. And when I allocate it, I make it to the dot, to a 2 million, to a 10 million. I won't go beyond that because I don't know where the others will come from.
Yeah.
then it will be much simple.
There's a problem of non-payment, obviously. But as municipalities, when you budget, are you being realistic that you're going to get the money? Because you know there's a culture of non-payment. And when you budget, do you ever consider that, or you budget according to expecting that the people are going to pay? Especially private households, but even businesses, I mean...
Remember, when we budget, we have got different components that we budget for. There are certain things that are mandatory, like property rates.
Yes.
It's a law.
It's the law, yeah.
It's not something that says consume first or what. The moment you own a property,
you pay.
You have to pay. It's a law.
Yeah.
So when you budget that one, you have to budget it 100%. Because you expect that people must not offend the law. They must be within.
At least you are guaranteed to
get
the money. Yeah.
Even if they will decide not to pay, but we're saying this is a legislative requirement. It's like a license disc of a car. We know each and every year you must renew it.
That's when you come and cut the electricity.
Yeah, but we are driving them without renewing them. And we know it's an offense.
Yeah.
But you are taking chances. That is where the challenge comes. And you have got water that you know is necessity. You cannot just cut water because that is life.
Yeah.
And when you budget based on how people are consuming. Then you apply the tariff. It says this is how far you are. And you look at the background of at what percentage do I get. Now we apply accounting into it and say, we need to say this particular amount, we are going to impair it. Then so that it gives us the right realistic figures of what we say we can collect. And even on the very same as we are making that assumption, if you don't get, then we'll be dealing with it when we prepare the next cycle of the budget.
Oh, yeah. But what I asked earlier, being in that position of being a CFO, you know of cases of people getting killed and all of that. What motivate? Are you not scared?
I used to tell people, you're not the first person to ask me. I used to tell people to say, one day I'm going to die. And if it's my profession, I never expected to be killed for something that is not mine. But one day, will be one day. Somebody have to die. Even to whoever that will kill me, you will still have to. It will be my time on that particular space. That's why I've been in that environment. We'll get threats and all that. Yeah.
But how do you deal with them?
You'll report them, but then what? Nothing. 3-4 days down the line, they send you an SMS, your case has been closed. But it's a life-threatening thing, so it's part of life.
Because there are many cases that I come across, especially of CFOs. Many.
Yeah.
Each and every day, almost.
Yeah, those are because of the supply chain, tender issues, payments and all that. They think you don't. And if you say, there is no money, there's nothing I can do, they think otherwise. They eliminate you, they bring another person, same thing happen.
Yeah, but if you blow the whistle, how protected are you?
How are you blowing your whistle? If they're saying, pay us, they've given you an invoice, and they're sending you a message, you take it to police, say, this is the threat. Then 2-3 days down the line, they send you SMS, the matter has been closed. Well, you ask yourself, was it investigated?
Yeah.
And you can't go there and say, let me see your investigation report.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that we've already had cases of CFOs being killed, what do you think should the government do to make sure that you are protected when you refuse to take the wrong decisions and when you decide according to law to report what you think is wrong?
I believe when you consider in terms of politics, our political principles have got bodyguards and all that. But there is no one who have looked at that aspect to say, in the administration, which components are more dangerous than the other.
Yeah, more exposed.
Because that is where they were supposed to say, in whatever regulation or whatever outcome of a package they come up with, they consider protecting those people. Yeah, maybe it will be something that will limit, because if I'm alone, driving alone, they know I'm alone and whatever, it becomes easy for whoever want to get into the space. But if that protection is given, especially the MM and the CFO, those are the two critical ones.
Yeah, I mean, especially at a point where it is known that you are under pressure because of a particular tender or a particular payment. Maybe there must be some mechanisms there that if you report and you give evidence, then there can be something that is arranged regarding your protection at a particular, even if it's ad hoc, it's not a permanent thing.
Remember that process is a very lengthy process in terms of our government processes on safety issues, because it needs to go to intelligence, it needs to have everything they must do there. It would be a long process.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the law doesn't allow either each government or any municipality to just take decision that we must get that because we have received a message. It says there must be an investigation so that it can say there is a risk. That's when they will make recommendation.
Yeah.
So that is a long, lengthy process. Where will you be when they do that? Yeah. That is a challenge.
No.
Because security issues in the country needs to go somewhere. There is only one institution that can look at that and say, yeah, there is danger here.
Yeah, but it's becoming clearer and clearer now that who really are in danger. As I mentioned, there've been cases of CFOs being murdered. So I think somebody sitting somewhere should be thinking, hey man, we must do something about this to stop it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's something that needs to be regulated. Our national government needs to look at it and start coming up with a legislation that regulates the entire process. So when they appoint you, what are the issues that needs to be? Like in the regulation that is in the of office bearers. It is clear to say the executive mayor or the mayor must have so number of bodyguards, must have this. But when you get to administration, it doesn't say, it's silent. Just appoint you, you are there, then they start threatening you, they say, but is there any security? They don't regard those people as public figures. That is basically where I capture the wrong part.
That's the problem. You don't have to repeat this after me, but the people who are getting protected most of the time are the people who are found to be giving you the wrong instructions.
It might depend with behaviors of people. It might be not all.
It might
maybe
not
some,
be, but
some. You see, sometimes other people, they come hungry and whatever. They might have their own ulterior motives and start pushing things that way. Yeah, that is why when you don't agree with, they will have to chuck you out of the system. And it goes with how people take things, because when people don't want you, there's no need for you to keep arguing as if you rather part ways. Then your safety will be there.
Okay. So lastly, how do you feel? Municipality like Steve Tshwete, as I said, it has been a reference point for the ANC in the province, has always been before amongst the best run municipalities in the country, clean audits, delivering services. I mean, you would see even if you drive around Middleburg, it's clean, everything is functioning, almost everything was functioning, but now it's not. And you've been there as a CFO. According to you, things were going well, things were happening. How do you feel now that it is deteriorating and degenerating?
Yeah, maybe, and I'll have to say I was the first black CFO of Steve Tshwete.
Yeah.
And in my tenure, I maintained what Steve Tshwete was.
And now that you mentioned that, there was a white municipal manager for a long time.
Yes.
And it was during that time when this municipality was being praised all over the country.
Yes.
I didn't want the discussion to go there, but sometimes it goes to that, to say now that there's a black person, what is happening?
No, but when I joined the municipality, because we took it from them, that's why I'm saying I started in 2019 and I maintained the unqualified. The following year, I maintained clean audit. The following year, it was still a clean audit. But the very same year that I left, then there is qualification.
Yeah.
So in that qualification, you know what led this? That very same thing of the CFO must be suspended, because I was the one accountable to any transaction in there and giving guidance in terms of what AG comes up with.
Yeah.
Because if I can tell you the petty things that made their qualification is something that I would have never tolerated, because I've been there, it has never happened of a bank reconciliation. Even everybody, when they see me, they say, that one will have never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it goes with whoever that is here. What is his interest? Does he give the direction to the municipality? Is he having good leadership or whatever? Or is he have got his own ulterior motive and intention that maybe I've been in the institution for long, I did not achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, now is my time.
Yeah.
Because I'm surprised. Maybe because I became a threat, that I was also a candidate of the municipal manager. Maybe I became a threat to him. That's why he didn't want me to be part of the institution.
Yeah.
Because what surprised me is that council, when they made the appointment, they made it on the 30th of August. But on the 1st of September, the man was on site. 10 o'clock at night, that's when the decision was taken that they appoint him as the accounting officer.
30th of August.
Yes.
And then on the...
And on the 1st of September, he was already there. And he was working somewhere else. His resignation was on the 5th of September, but he was already the MM. So surprisingly, I said, this person was eager to be the MM.
Yeah, hey.
So that's why I said, sometimes when you sit down and ask, I cannot do that. I will become professional enough and say, let me serve my notice. I'll be back. I'll be there. I accept the offer. But that one was so surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came without even an appointment letter.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you look at the date and the first you are here, there was no appointment letter yet. Maybe just a phone call to say, are you accepting? Then I accept the very same Monday I'm here.
Yeah.
What?
There's quite a lot, but let's keep watching the space. Because the people's side has been focusing on that municipality. Thanks a lot for making time to come here and explain some of these things. As I said at the beginning, it's unfortunate that the municipal manager specifically, has been refusing to respond to any of our questions. But next time, if he changes his mind, the platform is his. But thanks a lot for coming.
Yeah, I think I'm also, thanks for you calling me, because I never had an opportunity to explain myself. I've been on Observer since 2023, even today. The Middleburg Observer has been talking about me, but they never called me to say, what is your story? Even today. Maybe that will be my first story that all people of Middleburg will know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.